My question is divine inspiration, or its close cousin has been called divine intuition. I'm an entrepreneur, or otherwise known as an inventor. I work a lot with technology and entertainment. I like to call myself an inventor as it feels more like a hands-on or old-school title. Basically, I'm a child in a man's body who gets paid to play with a big kid's toolbox. I'm the first one to say that I've been blessed all of my life as ideas and solutions flow through me like water. On a few occasions, I've taken one of these ideas all the way to market. Most of the fun part of the adventure is solving the issues that arise during the build. Designing a new concept feels like you're giving birth and is truly the most fun of the process. But all things that go up can sometimes go down. How can I know that I am the sole owner of the idea or just another blessed person who was around for the spiritual broadcast to all of this idea? I've taught myself to stick with my intuition and allow nothing or nobody to stop the river of answers that are coming to me. But then I should have slowed down and done more research to see if the idea was already out there and in production from another blessed person in the one. Do you know of a store like Costco or someplace where I can find a false divine message filter that I can use? Or maybe I can buy a second divine intuition card that will tell me when to chill out and slow down.
Okay. Well, chill out now.
Thank you.
So, from what I gather is that you are very creative. An enormous amount of creativity flows through, which is wonderful. And there's two other things that you seem to not be happy about. The two things you don't seem to be happy about is that there's too much coming through. Is that it? There's a continuous influx, and you are questioning whether that isn't truly yours or a new thing, or whether it already exists. Can you put in your own words, briefly, what exactly, what is it? You're a creative person, which is wonderful, but what is it about it that you find difficult?
Downside?
Yeah.
The downside is that everything is coming so easily that I proceed forward with the project, get very deep into the project, try and find other people that are working on a project like it, then only to find out that it wasn't just me getting the message about building this device.
Right.
It was other people, and I heard it in the now, as opposed to it just being delivered to me. I was there for sort of a spiritual broadcast where a lot of people heard it, and we're all working on the same thing at the same time.
Yes.
Very frustrating.
That's often the case because nothing is really yours, nothing that comes. It's something that you, to use a modern expression, not familiar, don't usually use computer terminology, but you download, so to speak, and when one original idea comes, there are many examples for that in this 20th century and 19th century. Very often it comes to several people at the same time. There's only one consciousness. It operates through the humans, through the human form. And so it's never your idea. It would be limiting and give you the wrong perspective on it, and ultimately could even stop the flow if you ever thought that an idea belonged to you. Now, on a practical level, that's fine. You can go to the patent office or whatever that you do. That's fine. But the behind it, the psychological feeling, that's my idea. You took away my idea. Well, perhaps it came to several people at the same time.
That's correct.
And sometimes it's a race. If you're lucky, you get there first, and the others are just a little bit behind in developing it. And so I don't remember, but if I had a better memory, I could give examples. Perhaps you know them from inventions and so on that were done, and somebody just got in and somebody was just behind. It was a little bit too late. That you just have to accept that is in the nature of the creative manifestation through humans, that especially really new things can very often come through more than one channel, which is a human being. They come through more than one channel. It's something you have to accept, but if you can take practical steps to find out when something comes before you start spending a lot of time on developing it or getting the finances necessary to develop it, if there's any way you can find out through the interconnectedness that we have through the internet and so on, whether somebody is already approaching the final stage of that particular thing already, in which case it would be pointless for you perhaps to pursue it.
What most of us do is hide the fact that we're working on it, so you don't see until it's already too late. You've got everything invested.
That's right. So then all you can do is do what you feel wants to be born through you and enjoy the process at all levels, all stages of the process, and then you may find either you come out first or somebody else does, because then something else will come. If several things come and only one out of several comes to fruition through you, that's fine. It's similar to business. Speak occasionally to people who run businesses, and often I've heard that they try new things. It's not perhaps as creative as you, but they try new things, and often they tell me out of 10 things they try, 8 things prove to be failures. Sometimes 9 things prove to be failures. 1 thing works, and that 1 thing makes all the difference for the business.
That's right.
That's often the case. So you have to accept when it doesn't reach its final stage because somebody else has gone there before you. That's just how it is. Then there's no shortage in you of creative input. It'll come again, and the next time you will be the first. So the main thing is to enjoy the process, not to allow frustration to build up. Do it joyfully, and there may even be room occasionally for 2 people creating 2 things that are very similar but not absolutely identical. I don't know, just throwing this out. So,
True.
Have fun, to use a somewhat superficial expression, but really means fun to enjoy doing the creative process. There's great intensity there. I know that intensity from the writing process. When I wrote The Power of Now, the first book, occasionally, there was enormous intensity behind the writing process, and I enjoyed it enormously. So there was always this, and then occasionally people ask me, "What do you do?" I said, "I'm writing a book." "Yeah, what about?" It's about living in the present moment. And several times I heard, I wouldn't do that if I were you, because so many people have written about that already. I said, "Haven't you read Ram Dass, Be Here Now?" And that's old. That's good, not fashionable anymore anyway. So, present moment is passé.
That's a great story.
So if I had listened to them, I would have thought, maybe they're right. There are already so many, and there must be so many other people working on the present moment books. I might as well give up, because I would have to compete with the 50 other present moment books. So I might as well do something else. But fortunately, it was so joyful, the creative process. It wanted and needed to come out. So it wasn't really me saying, "I am going to write this book." The book had to be written, and if it hadn't been me, it would have been a very similar book, would have been somebody else. And if I had not obeyed this impulse to write, then I'm sure I would have fallen ill or died, because it was so strong. I would have closed myself, and the energy would have destroyed me. It's like it gets no outlet. You're not enabling it to manifest through you, and then it goes gone.
That's right.
So enjoy, and it will work.
Keep planting seeds.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.